Welcome to On the Chain.
So John Dean said this, Jeff. Look at this. He put this tweet out. He said, you know what? Sometimes you come across a 2-tweet thread that basically sums up everything you're thinking. No tweet is more accurate, more relevant than this right now. 2 fingers pointing down, but not the middle finger, just the pointer finger. And so this is none other by Gabe Shapiro. And here it is right here. It says, the CFTC and Democrats were palling around with Sam Bankman-Fried suing DAOs and devs, decrying the scourge of DeFi and plotting to regulate websites and wallet APIs, while FTX played with customers' money. Madoff and Enron were fully SEC regulated. Regulators do not protect us, period. And there he is right there. See who he's hanging around with?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All of his
you
buddies.
got it. As buddies. And then right there, it said SEC could have gone after FTT as a security. But instead, Jeff, they sued a small, under-resourced YouTube fork that gave tokens to video creators as rewards for their creativity, none other than Library.
How do you like that?
I happen to think a few people are consciously evil. SEC, CFTC, please stop harassing open source developers, building good software, and focus on your effort, which I should add, with use cases. Focus on your efforts on the people really playing bad games with other people's money and manipulating the market. Man,
that's a solid tweet thread. And Dean was right. That's a spot on.
So here it is right here. Gary Gensler. Here again. Why is Gary Gensler like the villain in every story? Really, Jeff? I mean, he's like,
I wonder why.
It's like you have the Marvel universe, then you crossed over to DC or something, because it doesn't really matter, but he's always a villain, right? So you got Gary Gensler. This is by Crypto Law, which is John Deaton's. He founded it. He says Gary Gensler gave access to Sam Bankman-Fried after he gave huge political donations to the SEC chairman's party. Still refuses to meet with retail holders. Of course, he was basically flagging this tweet here, which let's go into that. He said, "How did I know?" This is John Deaton. How did I know that Sam Bankman-Fried and would get meetings with Gary Gensler? Because he's one of POTUS and Democrat Party's largest donors. Jeff, no say, huh?
He was throwing some money around.
Man.
How'd that turn out for him?
So he says, so while Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX got the ear of the SEC, it prosecuted U.S. companies, Library, and Ripple. And then, of course, this was DAI that said, turns out that Gary Gensler was meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried while he was protecting us, from Ripple and XRP, because it's so evil, Jeff. And here it is right here. Tuesday, March 29, 2022. This isn't like a year ago, 2 years ago. Jeff, this is like, 7 months ago? So listen to this. He's so busy. He can't meet with that. He can't meet with the people, 4,000 people, right? Or the representative, John Deaton. But check this out. 4:00 p.m. on Tuesday, March 29, 2022, meeting with IEX and FTX. Then he names out the people. So FTX, Brett Harrison, president of FTX. You have Ryan Miller, general counsel of FTX. Mark Widgeon, head of policy and regulatory strategy at FTX. How did that work out? Strategy and regulatory, man. There you go.
Crazy.
That's what he's doing with this calendar. Okay, so we got a holy S on this one here. Look at this one here. Now this is a video. I'm gonna see if we can play this. I think he gets a haircut and goes into hiding right now, and nobody thinks it's him. He looks like Sam Bankman-Fried. Nah, man, doesn't have the weird hair. Meanwhile, he's like.
Last thing that I'll say is if you look at what precipitated some of the 2008 financial crisis, you saw a number of bilateral, bespoke, non-reported transactions happening between financial counterparties, which then got repackaged and re-leveraged again and again and again, such that no one knew how much risk was in that system until it all fell apart. If you compare that to what happens on FTX or other major cryptocurrency venues today, there's complete transparency about the full open interest. There's complete transparency about the positions that are held. There's a robust, consistent risk framework applied, and we're excited to work with the CFTC, U.S. licensed and regulated venue, to bring a lot of this passing.
Come on, Jeff. Jeff's having fun with the sound effects. That buzzer was funny. That's our new buzzer sound. Look at this. Listen to what he says here, though.
Held there is a robust, consistent risk framework.
There's a robust, consistent risk framework. Now, that risk framework was not very risk fail safe, but it was consistent. He was right about that. It's a consistent risk. This whole thing is incredible. I mean, really, quite honestly. And this was in front of a room of lawmakers talking and bragging about the risk consistency framework. Consistent risk framework. Come on, man. Oh man. Oh man. This is getting worse. You know, and again, I mean, just on the heels of the Celsius meltdown. Meanwhile, how could you, Jeff? How is it possible that companies that are regulated, apparently, like the SEC, the CFTC doesn't know how they're leveraged? They're taking customers' money and leveraging it, Jeff. That's criminal, man.
It is a little bit, and it's what's the one purpose of the SEC, right? To look after and help protect investors, retail investors, right? And instead they go after, and we've mentioned this so many times before, but they're so punitive to anybody who's trying to get ahead. You want to invest, you want to buy crypto, you want to invest in whatever it is. And instead of them focusing on the bad actors, like we read in the previous tweet, and we're listening to what's going on here, instead of focusing on bad actors, what do? They always go after the easy target that actually isn't the bad actor. But they go after them because they figure that they don't have the deep pockets, or based on this action, especially with Gary Gensler, with the enforcement activities, you bring them into court. The SEC has a bottomless, a bag of money. They can keep spending into oblivion. And then you come after a company like Library, and, at some point there's a tipping point, where they can't support anymore. Why do they come after a group like Library, and yet they allow all these other shenanigans to go on? It's kind of crazy.
It is, but this was a tweet. This is how fast things change. But just to kind of give you we're not going to go through the whole thing, but just to give everybody a taste of kind of where he's at with this. Look at this. So again, this is kind of a weird thing. It's like, if I would be like, hey, what's up, or whatever, you say, put something out there, and look at this, Jeff. This is what this is Sam Bankman-Fried. He says, hey all, I have a few announcements to make. Things have come full circle. Sounds like a good thing, right? Hey, things came full circle. Usually when you say things come full circle, it's like, hey, good news, right? And FTX.com's first and last investors are the same. So we've come to an agreement with the strategic transaction with Binance for FTX.com. Yeah, our teams are working to clear out the withdrawal backlog as is, clear out liquidity crunches, blah, blah, blah. Important thing is our customers are protected. That did not age well at all in this tweet, in this thread. Huge thank you to CZ, Binance, and all of our supporters. Now, just so for some clarity here, this is not the U.S. operation. This was the other FTX.com, which was international. The U.S. one apparently wasn't touched, but apparently it went down with the ship. You look at this one here, and this was the first one, which was 11 hours ago. And this was the spirit of transparency. Binanceans, given the recent events that transpired over the last couple of days, I want to reiterate a few points. One, we did not master plan this or anything related to it. It was less than 24 hours ago that SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, called me. Before that, I had little knowledge of the internal state of things at FTX. Maybe, Jeff. 2, the due diligence on the deals ongoing. I want to remind everyone, do not trade FTT tokens. If you have a bag, do not buy or sell. As soon as I'm finished with the call with Sam Bankman-Fried yesterday, I asked our team to stop selling as an organization. Yes, we have a bag, but that's okay. More importantly, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard. 3,
sell all of it.
Do not. This is like should have been 1 and 2. Like, what's the first rule of Binance Club? Do not talk about Binance Club. So 3, do not comment on the deal publicly or internally. He was sending this to Binanceans, right? That's the first rule of Binancean Club. Do not comment on anything.
Don't talk about it.
On and on and on and on, right? And so then you have this right here. Here it is. As a result, this is 4 hours ago, Jeff. As a result of corporate due diligence, as well as the latest news report regarding mishandled customer funds and alleged U.S. agency investigations, we have decided that we will not pursue the potential acquisition of.
So how did they go from yesterday? Now, Binance must have done some. You don't come and say, "Hey, we're going to acquire you, and everything's going to be great," without a little bit of knowledge. I mean, just a little bit. Look at a balance sheet. You're looking at something. You know, is Binance just out there saying, "Hey, we're going to buy it. Don't worry about it." It's like Monopoly. I'm buying it. You know, in this case, they must have done a little due diligence. So now all of a sudden, within 24 hours, who came to them? Who came to Binance and said, "No, you're not going to buy it"?
Jeff, read what I have highlighted.
Oh, yes. I think there's only one word there that explains it all. The alleged.
Yeah. Alleged
Rest.
U.S. agency investigations. We're out. SEC,
Alleged.
SCFTC.
Oh, yeah. Alleged. Yeah, we're done. That's it.
But Jeff,
Who is
why
it?
after
I
the
don't know.
fact? Why after the fact, when it crumbled, they're like, "Oh, we better get on top of that." Meanwhile, they're regulated companies. You know, Celsius was the same thing. Regulated companies. Nobody knows what's going on or how they're leveraged or what
Right.
they're using for leverage. I mean, with customers' money.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.